Welcome back to our J2W tutorials. So in the previous tutorial we have created one simple project. So the name of the project is my first project. Under that we got index.jsp file initially, and here in this tutorial we are concentrating on Servlet. So first of all we can see how to create a Servlet in netbeans. So here in this my project, my first project, then find the web pages, right click on this web page and go for the new, and under the Servlet. So here the class name should be my Servlet, anything you can give. So this I have given my Servlet and click on the next, and here you are provided with the configuration configure Servlet development. So configure Servlet development is nothing but adding the information to the deployment descriptor, which is called as a Web.xml file. Once you add this information, you will be created with a configuration file called Web.xml under the configuration files folder. So just go to the finish. Alright, so once I created the Servlet application has been created for me use. The name of the application is myservlet.java. So here in this configuration file, I will be creating a Web.xml file. Just go to this file first. So here we got actually some tags here. So this is a web app tag. So this is a web app tag here, closing web app tag, and this web.xml file is created by the netbeans right now. Under this we got actually only one servlet, so that servlet name and servlet class and servlet mapping and servlet pattern is there, and servlet config is there, and session timeout is 30 is here by default. So this is the time of the session here, and then servlet URL pattern is there, my servlet. So this URL pattern is used to execute the servlet. And with this pattern we have to call the Servlet in our HTML or JSP applications. So name of the Servlet is my Servlet, and the name of the Servlet class is my Servlet. So here go to the my Servlet. This is Web.xml file, which is a configuration file, nothing but a deployment descriptor for the web application right now we have created. So go to the my Servlet. We can go through this file first. So I will delete the unwanted comments over here. I'll extend this one. Alright, we got this complete my Servlet application over here. So in this Servlet application we have imported with several classes over here, and several packages. So the package IO, Servlet, and Servlet.http, Servlet.http is there. So we are imported with three packages. One is javax.servlet, one is javax.io, one is javax.servlet.http. Among that, several classes have been imported here. So my Servlet by default extends HTTP Servlet. We got actually HTTP and generic Servlet. So default it is extended HTTP Servlet, which is better than generic. So here it is having a method called process request, so which can take HTTP Servlet request and HTTP Servlet response objects respectively, and this method is going to throw the Servlet exception. So basically Servlet will be having its own life cycle. So we have discussed with life cycle already in our theoretical tutorials. Here in this tutorials we got actually the programmatic examples. So here we got doGet method and doPost method. So these are the doPost is alternate method for the post, and doGet is alternate method for the get method of the HTTP, and get Servlet info is it is one more method which was there in the HTTP Servlet. And here doGet and doPost will be having HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response objects, and process that request response object to the process request. In turn, these do get and do post methods are calling process request. So hence we are unable to get the default method execution here. Basically in servlet what happens, the default method is do get method. So here I will erase all these things. So here one of the statement is the out print, and this out object is referred to the reference to the response.get writer. It is assigned to this one. So what actually this is, print writer is in a class, and it was created with an object which is a reference to the response.get writer. So this is very important because once the request has been made from the client through any HTML or CSV applications, that request has been processed by the my servlet, whatever the servlet that we can specify, that request will be processed. So for that request we are generating the response. So for that response, the response should be either it is a text HTML, or it is an image format, or it is in any file format, or it is any HTML any attachments. So for text by HTML we are using a response.setContent tab. Once the request has been received by the Tomcat container or the web container, what happens, and web container even it is also called as a servlet container. So what happens, it need to generate the response. Those response will be in the form of text and by HTML format. So it was we are specifying the response.setContent type over here. That should be the text by HTML, and character set is supposed to be Unicode text format here. And print writer out is an object. Basically what happens, the HTTP servlet response generate a response which is empty. It will generate an empty response, and it should provide a custom content using the method getWriter or by the getOutputStream method. Output stream and getWriter, and here using this getWriter we are writing a custom content to this getWriter open the output stream to write the contents to the client and to send the text data or any binaries as a response. So here in this one, out.println, the out is an object of the print writer and the println is a method which prints these things onto the screen. We are using an HTML tags within this out.println. It will create an HTML file automatically. So I am going to delete everything here. So I will delete the whole thing, and I am going to use the get statement which was not created automatically. So I am going to use the exception here. Alright, so we got try, catch, and finally method, finally statements over here. This process request will be the method which will be called by do get and do post. So in this servlet I am going for the init method. So basically I have told you how the servlet will execute. Servlet will be having its own life cycle. We can discuss with what is the life cycle of a servlet here. The servlet will be having its life cycle. Initially when the servlet executes, what happens, it will be called by the init method. So init is the method which is used to specify the initialization parameter for the servlet. So basically init method will execute only once throughout the life cycle of a servlet, and then a service method will get executed. This service method will be invoked by the container, means Tomcat container or the servlet container. So this service method will take HTTP request and response objects as a parameters and generate request and response for the client and handles the request and responses. This service method will look out for the methods. Either it is either it is get, post, delete, or trace, whatever the method is. It look out for the method and give the specific data to the client, and this is called the work of the service, and it will invoke do get or do post method, which is a specific for the request. And the method is do get, which is a default method we can say, so which will take a process request and which will take HTTP response and HTTP request as an object, and do post method is also there, which is not a default, in which we need to invoke this explicitly by passing the form data. And here one more method that is called destroy method. So destroy method is used to destroy the servlet, in which servlets go to the garbage collector. In this destroy method, we are it is provided us to give some destroy, means releasing the database data and closing the database and releasing the resources, everything that was used by the servlet. So these are the methods which are executed during the life cycle of a servlet. And first of all, init method, service method, do get and do post is the optional, and destroy method which will be executed last during the exiting of servlet and destroy of servlet. So this is the servlet. This is a brief introduction of life cycle of a servlet. We will discuss about life cycle of a servlet in further tutorials. So right now I am going to use one method that is called init method. So this init method will be used to initialize the parameters to the servlet. I am going for protected void init, and this method will throws an exception I am going for the string message over here. So this method must show override annotation. I'm giving that. So add to override. Going for the public privilege over here, and then coming here init. This is hello servlet programmer, so this method having this one. And the next thing in this program, so I'm going to use one output statement, out.println. So that statement is message, something like this. Okay, so this message is not available here, so I'm going to go with this string outside. So public string msg, right here I got this one. So the next is, now here it is finished up. So the next thing, so save this application. I'll be executing this application. So I will not get any execution of this servlet right now. Right, this servlet is not executed. So we need to execute this servlet. We need to call this servlet. So how to call this servlet we can see here. So first of all, we need to go for the index.jsp application. In index.jsp application, I can go for tags here strong welcome to J2.e. You can go for strong. And here I'm going for input type equals to submit, and the value equals to call my servlet. So here this must be under the form tag. So form action. So we must go for the form action equals to my servlet No need to specify the method over here. I can go for the /form, so I can finish up with this form tag. So this method will be having value something, sorry, this input type will be having value called my servlet. I can save this one and go and execute this application, save, run it. I got this welcome to G2W, call my servlet. Here is some tag is displayed, so we can see this what actually it is. We need to delete this one and go for a break over here and save this and run it one more time. Right, I got this application running right now perfectly, and here I need to click on call my servlet. I click on this servlet, what happens, I'll be executed with hello servlet programmer. This is a servlet which is called right now. When I click on the forum, that is a button which was created here, input type equals to submit values equal to call my servlet, and this button under this welcome to J2W text which is within the forum tag. That forum tag is will be having an action when the forum, whatever on the button was clicked under this forum tag, an action will take place. That action will take you to the my servlet application. So that my servlet application has been created here, and that will be having a message. So hello servlet programmers. So that message will be printed in process request. So this is what actually happening in this program. This is how we are creating the servlet for web applications. So we can execute this servlet directly using this web browser. So I will show you how to execute this one in the next tutorials. Thanks for